Hey, how's it going everyone? Jake here, and we have a lot of crazy news in the world of Pokemon card collectibles to cover. We have some new record-setting auction sales on vintage Pokemon cards, as well as a ridiculously expensive Pokemon drawing by one of the original artists being sold at auction. As well as today's topic, we're going to cover why sealed Pokemon card products are so expensive and the prices are continuing to rise, specifically on sealed Pokemon card products. All other categories are doing pretty darn well, but it seems like sealed Pokemon cards are the hot topic. Everyone wants to purchase them or own them or collect them. So it's definitely a subject that I want to cover on why I think it's such a powerful entry point. For our first bit of news, a complete PSA 10 set of first edition Pokemon cards from the original base set were just sold at auction for $119,000. $119,310 to be exact. Wow, that is an incredible record-setting price, and it's exactly where I thought it would be. I figured it'd be around $120,000. With auction fees and taxes, the final closing price is probably closer to $130,000 to $140,000, and that's not going to be disclosed, but I think at the end of the day, that is a great record-setting price. Some previous historicals on what the complete PSA 10 set of first edition Pokemon cards were sold at was in 2019, we had a complete set sold for $104,000. And again, in 2017, we had a set selling for $98,000. So what this show is exactly what you kind of want to see in a collectible, which is slow and steady growth. It does not have to grow year over year, but this is a very fair linear line. It's actually growing very well, particularly in the fact that a year ago, it sold for $15,000 less. So the complete set is doing very well. I think this is great growth. It is not the same kind of growth that we are seeing in sealed products. Sealed products is growing at a much faster pace than this, but at the end of the day, it's a completely different beast, and we're definitely going to cover that as well. The first edition base set selling for $119,000 was completely expected. This is on par with the course for the current level of growth of Pokemon cards and the hobby in general. I know it's a record-setting price, but Pokemon cards have been making record-setting prices every year for the last couple of years in a row. So this is completely expected. But what was completely unexpected was a different lot in the exact same auction, and this one really blew me away. We had an authenticated 2006 original hand-drawn signed Pichu drawing, that's right, Pichu, not Pikachu, drawing, done by the original artist Ken Sugimori, one of the famous Pokemon artists that did a lot of the original artworks for Pokemon. He created a lot of iconic art. If you have ever seen the base set Blastoise, that was done by him. He also did Mewtwo, Chansey, Alakazam, Machamp. So a lot of great artworks were done by Ken Sugimori. And this Pichu drawing sold at auction for $55,000. Now I'm going to have the Pichu drawing up on the screen, but that price point just absolutely blew me away because I'll be honest, it's just a drawing of Pichu. It's nothing ridiculously special, but I did some research, and it is very special in that it is very rare to find original artworks and drawings by these artists. It's just not around, and there's a lot of reason for that. They're not dead or anything like that. These artists are very much alive and doing plenty of drawings all the time, but the reason is they don't draw Pokemons anymore. And the reason for that is because their Pokemon is a licensed and copyrighted product. You can't just go around drawing artworks for these characters and reselling them. They're under contract that they will not draw Pokemon art outside of the company. So finding artworks by these famous original artists of Pokemon are actually very, very rare, and they're very hard to find. They can't even draw these artworks for their own family. So it's very difficult to find these artworks. I'm sure the collector that purchased it for $55,000 is very happy with his purchase, and he's probably, or she, is probably going to keep it very locked and tight for the foreseeable future. And for our last bit of Pokemon card news, PWCC is one of the largest marketplace for collectible trading cards, and they're currently hosting one of their largest Pokemon card auction I've seen in a while. This auction is going to have a lot of amazing stuff. We have vintage booster boxes, booster packs, PSA 10 Charizard cards, as well as trophy cards. In fact, you can find these exact cards on auctions right now. Lots of amazing cards. Even if you don't want to purchase anything, I would highly recommend watching the auction because it just gives you so much insight on the hobby in general. We got over 300 lots of everything from vintage Pokemon card products, Japanese cards, trophy cards, you name it, and it's currently available up for auction. So plenty of stuff to look at. If you guys are interested, link down in the description. Once again, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I definitely want to give you guys the news and the heads up on any amazing available auctions available for Pokemon cards. Now on to the main topic for today's video, which is why sealed vintage Pokemon card products are doing so incredibly well. There's plenty of other stuff in terms of Pokemon card collectibles that you can purchase, like holographic rare cards, singles, you can buy a whole entire set of cards, or you could just purchase, you know, some Beckett or PSA graded encapsulated cards. And those are all doing very well. They are growing in terms of value, but by far the best group and category is the sealed Pokemon card products. We're talking about like booster boxes and sealed packs. They are doing incredibly well right now. If you go to sleep tonight, by this time tomorrow, when you wake up, the prices have already increased. That's how fast Pokemon card, the sealed stuff is doing right now. So the main reason for this level of growth, and is a very good reason, is a new influx of collectors. More people are getting into the hobby, and the most common entry points that I think a lot of people pick up is sealed Pokemon card products because it's a very no-nonsense purchase. Anyone can go on to eBay and purchase some sealed Pokemon packs. It's very straightforward. You can see prices and compare prices very quickly and easily. You don't have to need expertise, if that makes sense. You don't need the same level of expertise. With a single card, ungraded, you don't know what you're getting. It could be a fake card and you don't know what condition it's in. You don't know if this is a good purchase or not. You might assume it's a terrible purchase because if you're not familiar with buying a single card, you don't know what you're looking for. You don't know if it's damaged, you don't know if it's a good price, you don't know if you're being ripped off. With sealed products, it's just a safer purchase in most cases. And the reason why, well, you're thinking like, well, why not buy graded cards then? Graded cards do very well. But at the end of the day, graded cards are a more niche market. It is not an entry point. Your first purchase of Pokemon cards very rarely would be a graded card. A graded card requires an experienced collector. That is why you don't see the same level of growth. There's just a lot of influx of people purchasing Pokemon cards right now, but they're purchasing the sealed products first. It's going to take time before those people who purchase sealed products make the commitment to buy graded cards. Graded cards is just a niche market. It's like a smaller slice of pie of the grand scheme of things. You have the whole entire Pokemon market. Like imagine all Pokemon collectibles as the main market, and then you have Pokemon cards, which is a subset of that, and then you have graded Pokemon cards, which is even a smaller subset of that. So it's a very niche market at the end of the day. And I know plenty of collectors that do not enjoy graded Pokemon cards. I know some very rich collectors, and I mean rich, but they will not purchase a graded Pokemon card because they don't enjoy it. It's just their thing. They say they want to feel the card, they want to see the card, they don't want it encapsulated. That's them. It's not me, but there are people like that. And I think it takes a very special individual to make that jump into buying graded Pokemon cards. That is why sealed products are doing so well. Sealed products are doing well because there is a lot of people demanding it. It's just a very larger, broader group than any other category. It's usually the first thing that you're going to buy when you start buying Pokemon cards. So it makes sense that this area is the one that's growing the most. And that is a good thing. If Pokemon card sealed products are growing the most, then that means there are a bunch of new, fresh people who are going into the hobby. This means the hobby is growing, this means the hobby is doing well, and this means that things are lively. This is what you want to see in a hobby, is to see growth, discussion, demand. All of those things are good for the hobby. So in general, I think these prices are totally fair. And personally, I'm gonna try to purchase some more sealed packs myself, even a couple of sealed boxes. But at the current rate, even I'm being priced out of the market, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally happy with what I currently have for sealed Pokemon card products. Even if I don't purchase a first edition booster box in my life, I'm happy with what I currently have. And I think that's all that's really needed for my own enjoyment in the hobby. All right, everyone, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, then I do hope you subscribe, because we got a lot more amazing videos to come. There's so many exciting things that are currently happening in the hobby, and I think it's gonna be a really enjoyable ride. What do you guys think of my thoughts that sealed Pokemon card products, especially the vintage stuff, is such a common entry point for so many beginner Pokemon card collectors? Do you think that makes sense, or do you think I'm totally wrong? Let me know down in the comment. I would love to have a discussion with you. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.